Let us sing these simple words. It's just never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. Sing that with me. Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. Let's take it down again. Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone.
I am never alone. Say that with me. I am never alone. Friends, if it's comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just become aware of your breath as we relax into this stillness, as we relax into the silence of God in us. Relax into the truth that Spirit always walks with us. We are never alone. Never alone. Sometimes when I sit in the stillness and the silence, my overactive mortal mind, carnal mind, starts telling stories of what's wrong, of what's missing, of what's bad. And before fear can creep in, before worry can grasp me like a fist around the heart, I must, with courage, realize I am never alone. And that those stories are not the truth. They're made up ideas that would have me believe in the separation, that would have me believe that the personality is what is prominent, what is right. But God in me, the courage to know that I am an individualized expression. For each of us to, with a breath, know that I am an individualized expression of the one mind, the one power, the one presence. An individualized expression of good and love in its absolute form, unchanging. at this place in consciousness where I know I am never alone. And so now, with another gentle breath, I invite you to relax even just a little bit more. Feel the tension roll out of your shoulders. Let the tension relax in your jaw. And with a gentle breath, as a community of believers, we join together in spirit, not alone, but one, in the stillness and in the silence. God in me, through me, and as me is courage to choose the right next idea, the right next word, and the right next action. As individualized expressions of the one, we live the truth we know with courage, with wisdom, with strength. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. Feeling the absolute truth of this statement, bring yourself back to this time and space where we are one as a community, perhaps separated by miles, but together as the presence of love. Come back to this space and time, bringing with you the truth that I am never alone. As you are ready, and so it is.
Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone, never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. One more time. Never alone, never alone. Walking with Spirit, I am never alone. And as we prepare to receive Rev Todd's message, let's do this one. This one is actually by Enya, so I hope that you recognize it. And if you know some of the words, sing along with me, please. Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. Who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time. Rev Todd, we can't hear you at all. There's no sound coming from the sanctuary.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yay. I was not prepared for that song, Deidrey. And I know everybody's like, well, what's up with that song? I mean, it's just an Enya song. So do y'all know that song's been used in commercials? Like for me, most famously, it was with Jean-Claude Van Damme in a Volvo Trucks commercial. And a few weeks ago, on Father's Day, I showed y'all some drawings that my dad used to do. And I don't know if you remember this. You probably don't. My father's career was with Volvo Trucks and having ideas that changed the trucking industry. Um, and courage. Last week we talked about courage and being, stepping into courageous conversations. And this is not where this message was going 3 minutes ago. And yet it kind of is. At one point, my father, I don't know if y'all remember back in the days where if a semi truck ran into somebody, there could be a big explosion because the gas tanks were in the front of the truck. And my father came up with an idea that moved the gas tanks back and created a step where people had to step up and change the way trucks got made. Had to have the courage to step forward and say, let's do something different. And so, wow, I was not expecting that song today. And today's message is about listening, about showing up and listening. And I asked Kath to use light bulbs today. Light bulbs. Isn't that interesting? Because as my mind does, I was like wondering, like, before Thomas Edison came up with the idea of the light bulb, how did illustrators let us know that someone in a cartoon was having an idea? Right? Like, how did that happen? Uh, um, his work on the light bulb, including his persistent experimentation and creation of a system for delivering electricity, established him as a symbol of innovation and ingenuity. And it's often depicted with a light bulb. Became ingrained in popular culture. The literal illumination of a light bulb naturally lent itself to the metaphor of a bright idea. Sudden clarity and understanding, a eureka moment, an epiphany of illumination. It's strengthened by the idea that when we say that someone is bright, means that we think they're intelligent, that they're clever. And then it really got cemented into the American culture with Felix the Cat. Y'all remember Felix the Cat? And his ideas? And as I go down my rabbit holes, here is something that Thomas Edison said in 1910 in an interview in the New York Times Magazine. I do not believe in the God of theologians, but that there is a supreme intelligence I do not doubt. He also said, nature made us, nature did it all, not the gods of the religions. What you call God, I call nature, the supreme intelligence that rules matter. That's kind of what I believe. This intelligence, this incredible intelligence, the one love, the one power, the one presence, the one mind. The one mind. And so this brought up this idea for me of one mind and this call that I issued last week of let's show up courageously. Let's show up not to make any place safe, but to make places sacred. And to make them sacred and to live in the truth of who we are and what we know to be true, to live with integrity by living that fifth principle. And then I thought about our divine ideas. And I thought about the most prominent discipline that we are asked to live up to in unity. Do you know what that discipline is? Because I think sometimes we forget about this. Anybody? We have our spiritual practices of prayer and meditation, yes? But our discipline to live the truth we know, but that means that we have to be clear about what we think. And our spiritual discipline is about controlling our thinking nature. To be clear about the thoughts that we are holding in truth in this manifest experience that we're having on playground planet Earth. It's our thinking nature. Right? We are not called a new affirmation tradition. We're not called a new prayer tradition. We're not called a new meditation tradition. We are called a new thought tradition. And if you want to change your experience of life, it begins with a new thought. And you want to supercharge it. You want to turn on the electricity so you have a light bulb that's not just there, but that is illuminated, that radiates light and love and hope and wisdom and imagination and zeal and all these other things. Our 12 powers, right? Those colors. If we want to do that, then we don't just think with our egoic mind, the carnal presence of this world. We think with our individualized expression. We open ourselves up to the ideas that are divine in nature. And Charles Fillmore told us, he says, your prosperity, our prosperity, is divine ideas. And in Lessons in Truth, Emily Cady gave us this wonderful pattern of we have to recognize, we have to receive, and then we have to radiate the divine ideas. So let me make this true for you. Let me bring this down into my own personal experience. There was many years ago. I know you're all like, it can't be that many, Todd. You look so young. Thank you. Thank you so much. Many years ago, I was working on a talk, and I needed the story, right? Because I'm a storyteller. I wanted the story that would illustrate my topic, and I had the perfect story, but it wasn't mine. And I can't tell the story that's not mine if I don't have permission to tell the story. You know how that goes? The story had come to me at the end of the service the previous week when a congregant came to me and told me this story that was, it was so important to this message. And I can't even remember what the story was now. Now the story about the story is important because I couldn't remember the story. And so I'm like, okay, I need a different story. And I'm sitting here. And the divine idea that I was needing, the divine idea that was showing up for me was inspiration, because my talk is always intended to inspire people. Inspire you to remember the truth of who you are. Inspire you to change your thinking, and inspire you to forgive, to love, to do the right next thing because you have the right thinking and the right words and the right actions. And so I got quiet thinking, okay, I need this divine idea for inspiration. This is what is drawing me forth. And I sat in the silence. And what Spirit told me to do was to go to the movies. And I was like, I can't go to the movies. I can't go to the movies. I have to finish this talk. because it's already 5 o'clock on Saturday and I have to speak in the morning. So that's ridiculous. That is my ego telling me to go to the movies. I had already recognized my divine idea was inspiration. But I had to receive my divine idea, and receive it is not just to go, oh yeah, but it's actually to take action with it. So I went back to the mat. I went back to the cushion. I went back to my chair, because I do not get down on the floor. I love y'all that do. I go back to my chair and I'm like, go to the movies. So it's a little more of a shove this time, because Spirit will whisper in your ear, and then it'll give you a little nudge, right? You ever been there? You ever been like, oh, it gives you a little nudge, and then you ignore it, and then suddenly, I don't know, maybe you twist your ankle, and then you really have to sit down, right? There's the little nudge, the thing that's trying to get your attention. Go to the movies. That happened for like 45 minutes, and finally I was like, fine, I will go to the movies. And I went to the movies. I don't even remember the movie I saw, because it's not important to this story. But I went to the movies, and I thought, okay, there's going to be something in this movie. Something in this movie that is going to give me the story I need to share in my message that will inspire people. And I was wrong. I remember enjoying myself. And I know some of you are thinking, why didn't you just call the person? Right? I didn't have their phone number. We weren't friends on Facebook. I did not know how to reach this person. And I had gone to the movies, and now I feel like it is 2.5 hours later. I still do not have this done. And I leave the theater, and I turn to my right. And the person that told me the story is standing in line to buy a ticket. Go to the movie. We have to recognize what is the divine idea that is showing up, that is calling forth for us, and then we have to receive that divine idea. And sometimes it may not make sense how it's showing up. But we either have faith in the truth living through us, we have faith in the one power and one presence that is giving us this, and we have that faith if we do the practices. But we have to be willing to have a new thought. And we receive this truth. I saw a couple of wonderful stories this week in social media. One was of a person who worked at an airport, and in their job, it's an airport, and I don't know if y'all know how stressful that job can be. It can be stressful. With the divine idea that this airport worker was living into, I believe, is a divine idea of service. Right? Not customer service, but spiritual service, showing up for people. Wherever they are, however they are. And this airport worker found an individual laying in the floor behind one of the ticket counters in a fetal position, sobbing. And this individual had missed yet another connection. And they were supposed to be arriving in another city to do a presentation. And it was someone who had autism and who was not handling the situation well, that they had missed flights. They weren't where they were supposed to be. It was already a little uncomfortable to be on an airplane around all those people. And if you don't know what it's like to be someone who doesn't like to be in really huge crowds of people, it's not fun. And because this person showed up with recognizing that I am in this world for service. My divine idea is of service. And they received. They paused and they listened. And they held space for someone who was hurting. And then they radiated that divine idea of service. They radiated it because they went and they found a seat for this individual to get to the city that he needed to be in. They cleared an entire row so that he wouldn't have to sit with people. They escorted him up to meet the pilot, took him on the plane early and introduced him to every one of the stewards on the airplane because they were radiating service. They were radiating service. And that's how we live courageously, because we have to open ourselves up to the divine idea that wants to show up as you right now. Right now. And we know that in reality, we know that when we expand in conscious enough and we reach that absolute place in spirit, that there is no other divine idea other than love. And divine ideas like inspire and service and community and communication and beauty are merely individualized expressions of love. And so if we can learn to pause and breathe and to recognize our call to be love in the world, to be love in the world, to deny everything that comes through this carnal mind that is not grounded in love, to deny that and to then affirm from the truth that love is who I am. Love is who I am, and then choose what is the path of love here? What is the courageous path of love in this moment? To be the divine idea of love in whatever individualized way you think you're being called to show up in this moment. Receive that. And maybe sometimes your prayer has to be, tell me more, right? Because, sometimes Spirit might go, hey, go to the movies, go to the beach, take a walk, read a book, walk up to that stranger and ask if you can hug them. Many times I've been to the Mountain Retreat and Learning Center in Highlands, North Carolina, with my group of spiritual men, and for many years we would stand in the closing heart circle and we would say, as you go down the mountain, do not hug the cashier at the convenience store, because they're not in the same place you are. And then finally one day we stood in that circle and we said, you know what? We used to say, don't carry this into the real world. And the truth is, this is the real world. And carry those hugs out. Just to ask first, because, we don't want to touch anybody without permission. But the truth is, the world needs more love. The world needs more hugs. The world needs more of us willing to show up and be courageous. So if I had read far enough along in the chapter, I would have realized that Emily Cady actually said that it was recognize, receive, radiate, and rest. 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 Rest is a beautiful word that also reminds me of the Sabbath. The Sabbath. Take your Sabbath whenever you want to take your Sabbath. We like this idea that the Sabbath is on Sunday. That kind of depends on what your faith tradition is, because there's a lot of people that do it on Saturday, and some even do it on Friday. But the truth is that your Sabbath is that moment where you pause and you breathe, and you think about the divine ideas that are leading your life, and you evaluate the thinking that you're using to be in integrity with what you know. Because everything begins with a thought. Use your Sabbath, use your rest to tweak it. To be clear, am I really living the truth I know? And then from there, repeat. Because you don't get one divine idea. Your prosperity is divine ideas, and they are coming forth from you from an infinite supply that you get to recognize, that you get to realize, and you get to radiate. Right? And unlike the shampoo bottle that says, lather, rinse, repeat, I often wondered as a child, wouldn't you eventually run out of shampoo? Not realizing it only meant one time. This isn't one time. This is with every breath. Recognize, receive, radiate, rest, and repeat. And know that Spirit is always in you and as you and through you and with you, and you are never alone. That's what I was asked to share today, my friends. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rev Todd, for your message. Hey, let's do this one. This one is by Still Good. God is so amazing, shining through you. One look in your eyes and you know it's true. Here we go. God is so amazing, shining through you. God is so amazing. God is so amazing, shining through you. One look in your eyes and you know it's true. God is so amazing. God is so amazing, shining through you. God is so amazing, shining through me. We're going to affirm that for ourselves. Here we go. God is so amazing, shining through me. God is so amazing, shining through me. One look in my eyes and you will see. God is so amazing. God is so amazing, shining through me. God is so amazing, shining through us. That's what we're singing next. Here we go. God is so amazing, shining through us. God is so amazing, shining through us. Your heart and my heart is the sweetest love. God is so amazing, shining through us. God amazing. God is so amazing. God is so amazing. God is so amazing, shining through us, shining through us.
Deidrey, we are delighted that you are back. We had a fun Sunday last week, but we sure did miss you. So welcome back.
Thank you, Rev Todd.
I have to pause for just a second because the divine idea of inspiration is showing up for just a moment, and as we get ready to step into how we are experience the divine wellspring within, I need to ask. I need Nick to come out here for a minute. Can you come out from behind that door? I hope he can hear me. He's probably got on headphones listening to me talk. Or he's going, I don't want to do that. Here he comes. Look at that. Here he comes. He's readjusting the camera so it gets my good side. Hey, Nick, I need you, buddy. I told y'all a couple of weeks ago that Nick completed his education program at, what was it called, WorkSource East. And we were so proud of him. And Leslie and I were busy videoing, and everybody else got whoops, and we didn't whoop. Whoop! Everybody whoop for this young man. We love you. We love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ you are. Together, we love you.
Love you.
We bless
you.
you.
We behold
you, the Christ you are. I think I left out part of that, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, well. We love you, friend. Thank you so much. We're proud of you, sir. And thank you for showing up with service to this community. We told him we were going to whoop for him, and then I forgot to the last time he was here. So whoop! Thank you, friend. Isn't he awesome? You're awesome. I hope that got caught on camera, too.